Hello. So last week we built a very fast website. In this series, that I'll be walking you through how to make the most out of your WordPress site and how to make most of the tools that you already have access to. And for this, we'll continue from where we left. We're going to fix one of the biggest and the major issue to any contact form that can be embedded on the site. That is a spam issue. So for this, I'm going to walk us through some of the free options that you have, as well as some of the paid options that is available in the basic and version of WP Forms. So let's get started. So to do so, I'm going to head over to WP Forms all, then I will edit our form. And now once I've edited, I'll begin with the very first option is using the allow and deny list. So to set that, you go to the email field, then you go to advance. Then from here you should be able to set. So I'm going to begin with the deny list. What deny list will do, it will allow you to set the email patterns that you want to deny. For example, you only want submission from websites that has a domain. So one of the ways that you will do is to add this sort. So this is a wildcard select, then you add the then gmail.com, meaning any user that has a Gmail domain, or rather Gmail email, will not be able to submit. So I'm going to show how this works. So I'll preview the form for this matter. Now that our form is previewed, I'm going to fill so Mike that, then I'll say mike@gmail.com. So you'll see that as soon as I'm done, it gives me this validation error that this email address is not allowed, simply because we have it set in the deny list. So if you only want to allow specific emails, for example, you only want to allow from Gmail, what you can use for that matter is what we call allow list. So for that, you'll just come to this drop down, then select the allow list. And from this list, now we're going to set. So that is a wildcard select, then at gmail.com. Then I'm going to save this. Once it is saved, oh, I think there was allowed list that I'd already set up in place here. So it has to remove the extra one. So if I say that this is Mike Kipruto, then let's say test at mike.com, you'll see that it will trigger validation error that this email address is not allowed, simply because I only have allowed list in place for that. So the next option that I'm going to look at, so for now, I'm going to disable the allow list. And the next option that I'm going to look at now is other spam protection and security methods that are free in WP Forms. So you head over to spam protection and security. From this page, now you can be able to set up. So I'm going to begin with one of my favorite, which is Active Layer. The reason I prefer Active Layer is, number one, it uses AI to learn the patterns of the spam, and it will, depending on the pattern of the submission and all that, it should be able to tell you if this is actually a spam or if this is genuine. And the advantage with this, it will give you a clean interface within your WordPress dashboard where you can be able to see. So to set up that, I'm going to activate the plugin. I have it already activated, so it will trigger me to activate and reload the form builder. Then I'll head over to WordPress dashboard. Then I go to Active Layer. So for the Active Layer, this is how its dashboard looks like. So it has the dashboard and that. So I can be able to enable it either in WP Forms or comments or any form that is in your site. So this option is not limited to WP Forms, but you can use it in any form within your site. So now to configure, you head over to settings. Now from the settings page, you're supposed to get your API key. So for that, you will only get it from your Active Layer domain. And the advantage with this, it will give you up to 1,000 free checks. Say that every submission is checked against. If it's a spam, it will flag it as a spam. If it is a genuine submission, it will flag that as a genuine submission. Once that has been done, you come back to the form builder. Then you're supposed to enable the active layer protection. So under CAPTCHA, you just simply enable active layer, then save that. After saving it, I'm going to go to the page where we had last embedded our form. So that is the contact us form. So as soon as this is done, so for example, if I submit that, and let's say Gmail, and we're testing, I think that should have been a reason. This is feedback. Then we are testing. Then I'm going to submit. As soon as I submit, I'll come back to my active layer dashboard from the backend. Let's see if this has been submitted. So you'll see that I have two submissions simply because when I was setting up my active layer, I did submit one submission for testing, and now that, and if I go to my email, because we fixed our email issue last week when we are setting up our very first video, you'll see that came to our email. So that is how active layer works. So I'm going to disable that, save it. The next option now, I'm going to see two that are built into WPForms Lite. So we have the enable modern anti-spam, and also we have the enable the minimum time to submit. So what I like about the enabling the minimum time to submit is simply you can control the interval between submission. So for instance, for this, I'm going to set to 60 seconds. By default, it is 2 seconds, but you can be able to set to any duration that you do want. But I would highly recommend keeping it under 1 minute. So it can be 60 seconds or less, simply because for genuine submission can happen even in an interval of 5 minutes, but it is almost impossible to have somebody that submits a form within an interval of 30 seconds. So that must be a bot. So after saving this, I'm going to save that. Then I will reload this page. And now we're going to do another test, Mike Prota. Then this is a test at Mike. All right, just testing. Let us see. As soon as I submit, you'll see that it gives me this option that please wait longer before submitting. We are running a quick security check. So simply because we have this option enable, and that is what triggers that error. And you may be asking yourself, is there a way you can be able to change this validation message? Yes, there is a way. You go to WPForms, then head over to settings. From the settings, you just come to validation. And from validation, this is actually where you can be able to change the different validation messages that your users get to see on your site. So now that we have seen that option, I'm going to disable the two. And the next option that I'm going to look at is using the Cloudflare Turnstile. Then we're going to look for hCaptcha and Google reCAPTCHA. So to apply that, you go to WPForms, then head over to settings, then go to CAPTCHA. From the CAPTCHA page, you should be able to set up your CAPTCHA. So I'm going to begin with the Cloudflare Turnstile. So for that, you're going to just enable this, then you're going to save it. And as soon as you save it, you will see that it will now show you that. Then you come back to the form builder, reload the page. Then now you're going to enable the Cloudflare. Then you're going to save that. Once it is being enabled, you just come back to your site, reload in the page where the form was embedded, and you will be able to see that the Cloudflare is actually working for us, and this can help you even to mitigate some of the spam submission. The next option that we're going to look at now is the hCaptcha. So I will disable this, save it, then I'll come back, enable hCaptcha. So it uses the same mechanism. For example, if you use a checkbox reCAPTCHA or the invisible reCAPTCHA version 2 or the reCAPTCHA version 3. So personally, I prefer the invisible ones. So that is the invisible version 2 or the invisible reCAPTCHA version 3. And for invisible version 3, the advantage with this is you can be able to set the score threshold. So what this will do, the reCAPTCHA version 3 will return a score. So if it tends to 1, it is actually very good interaction. If it is 0, that is actually a bot. So depending on your preferences, you can use either of the methods. And all this I will include the instruction on how to set up in the description of this video. So be sure to check it as you walk along. And if you run into any issue, don't hesitate to reach out, because I will be monitoring the comment section and I will reply to all the comments and how to go about. So now that I have this set up, so I'm going to save this. After saving it, I will reload the form builder. Then I will enable the reCAPTCHA. Invisible version 2 reCAPTCHA, save it. After saving now, I'll come back to the page where the WP Forms is embedded, and you should be able to see this icon, which will show you that the reCAPTCHA is actually active and is actually the invisible for your site. So now that we are done with that method, we're going to check as the other method is using the hCaptcha. For hCaptcha, you simply come to hCaptcha. So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to go to hCaptcha.com. Then you set up. It's actually free, but you can set up, add your domain. Then you grab the site key, and you can also grab the secret key. Once you have that, you save it. After saving it, so this is how it will look like in your form. So I'm going to reload this, and this, I have this enabled, that is a hCaptcha. Then I will refresh the form, and you should be able to see a challenge from hCaptcha like this. So anybody that attempts to submit the form on your site, they will be getting this, and they should now be able to select which option is which, and depending on the selection, they should verify. After verifying it, now they will be able to make submission. For example, this is say choose a card that shows a different animal. So you're going to see. So it should be the very first card. Then we verify. So for this, just Q, click the animal icon, the exact number of items and all that. So that is also the same option. And that is the better part on how to go about this. For example, on this one time, so it should be this one. So it goes to next and all that. So depending on the challenges, your users will be able to choose the challenge, verify before making submission. Now that we are done with these options, so those are the options that are available in the free plan of WPForms Lite. And however, there are some of the amazing features that are available in the paid plan, from the basic license of WPForms up to the pro or higher license. So I'm going to activate the paid version of WPForms code already updated. So for that, I'll go to settings, then go to plugins page. Now from the plugins page, I'm going to activate the WPForms, which is the paid version of WPForms. So for me, I have the Elite license. However, some of these features would work with the basic plan of WPForms, which goes for $49.95 for the first year. So it's actually a good deal. And some of the features you'll get are some of which I'll be walking us through next week. Some of the features like the smart conditional logic, some of the features like how to set up even conditional confirmation, conditional notification. So be sure to check our videos even next week. So to do that, once now that is done, I'm going to show some of the features. So one of the features that is available in the paid plan of WPForms is using the country filter, the keyword filter. The advantage of the country filter is that you can only accept entries from your preferred countries. Assuming that you're running a campaign on your site and you want only submission from your country. For me, I'm in Kenya, so I only want submission from Kenya. So anybody that comes outside Kenya, they should not be able to submit that form. So I'll go to Allowlist, then I'm going to set Kenya. So I'll simply search. And for this, you will be able to change the validation message right there. You say, sorry, this form does not accept submission from your country. We only accept submissions from Kenya. So save that, reload it. So if anybody that is outside Kenya feels this, they will not be able to. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to set this to Uganda and save it. Once this is saved, I will reload that, then I'll attempt to submit. Definitely I should run into an error, then submit. You'll see that this form does not accept submission from your country. We simply because in our settings we have it select to accept from Uganda. So you can also do the same. And another thing also, you can deny from specific countries. So for example, if you're in Africa and you only want submission from Africa, you can only allow from Africa. In Europe, you can only allow from countries inside the European Union and deny any other country. So that is the advantage of country filter. Another option, we have the keyword filter. So for the keyword filter comes in handy if you don't want people to just say that I need something like I want search engine optimization. So I'll copy this, save the changes, and ensure to save that. And I'm going to come back to our form. I'll say that my name is Mike Kipruta. All right, reason, for example, that. So as soon as I attempt to submit, sorry, your message cannot be submitted because it contains prohibited words. And the advantage with that, you can be able to change that keyword filter message depending on your preferences. So that is how it works. Yeah. And the very last feature that I like, how you can be able to minimize the spam submission. This comes in handy if you're only taking submissions from verified emails. So this option is available in the form locker add-on, which is actually a pro feature. And I'm going to show you how to use it. So if you can click the form locker, if you click on the form locker in your form builder, it will just trigger you to activate and install. So if you don't have the pro license of WPForms, it will trigger you to update. And the advantage is that upgrades for WPForms are prorated, meaning you only pay the difference, meaning your previous purchase and the current purchase, it will take into consideration the duration that your license has been. And we also offer 50% off that is automatically applied during checkout. So be sure to check it out. So I'm going to show you for the form locker. So you can just come to form locker and you enable form verification. And for that, email verification is what I was talking about. This, you'll just say, to continue, please enter and submit to verify your email. All right, I'm going to save this, come back here, right here. So you'll see, to continue, please enter and submit to verify your email. So I'll say test mike.wpforms@gmail.com. So this, it will submit, then it will show me the message that I should check my inbox. So let's just give it a minute. All right, so you'll see, please check your inbox for verification link. So I'll reload the page. So this is now the verification link that I'm getting. So it will ask me, email confirmation is required to access the format. To confirm your email, please visit this link. So as soon as I visit the link, the form will be visible for me. And that is how I will be able to submit. So the advantage to this is, while bots may bypass some of the methods, it will not have a way to verify the email submission. Meaning this is more of an amazing feature. And for me, this is actually a must have, especially if you are running leads. Imagine that you've spent your money on Facebook or any preferred social media handle and you want to have leads that comes to your website, fill the form and do that. So having this, it will be a plus for you, and it will give you a better bargain on how to stop any potential spam submission for your site. So now that you're here, feel free to leave a comment in what is your preferred email, or rather spam prevention method that you're going to use, or which method are you currently using. I'll be checking all the comments and I'll be sure to reply. So thank you. See you next time when we will be talking about some of the pro features, such as the conditional logic and a few of the features. And I'll also be showing us how to use AI with WP Forms. So see you next time. Thank you.